In this video, I want to talk about the application of the forearm guarding block, and I'll include knife hand guarding block in here as well, since they're so similar. Many people do this block, and they do Taekwondo for many years and don't really know what this is for, but the forearm guarding block looks like this. So one hand down above your belt level, like this, the other hand out in front, like this. The knife hand version is exactly the same hand position, except your hands are open instead of being closed. So looking at it from the side, performed in an L stance, you can see here would be a forearm guarding block, and here would be a knife hand guarding block. And here again, I got my dad with me to help demonstrate. So if somebody was attacking, let's say with a punch, so if you're just doing like a straight punch, obviously a knife hand guarding block, this top hand coming down can be used to block a punch, most definitely. But typically what we mean by guarding block is it's a defensive posture. So you're preparing for an attack even before an attack has come. So in other words, just by having my hands in this position, I shut down a lot of attacks that he could potentially do. So like if you're doing a straight punch, you can see that this presents an obstacle for the opponent to have to get through. So if he wants to jab or he wants to throw a punch here, he has to get past this hand first. And that's not exactly easy to do. When you have somebody standing there and they've got their hand out in front like this, it takes away a lot of straight line attacks just by being there. It's like a block that is active 100% of the time. I don't have to really move it around much. It's just there. And let's say hypothetically that he slips past the block, that I have my guarding block there. It doesn't take much for me to be able to turn this into another block and protect myself. So if I can see that an attack is getting through, I can use head movement, and I can also direct it off to the side. So if you go the other side now, right, if you go this way, right, you can see the hand is already there. I just push off to the side and I dodge simultaneously. So head movement and off to the side. You can see that it makes things very difficult for him to come through. So I block him this way, I block him this way, or I catch that hand outright and trap it right here, right? I'm not actually closing my hand on his hand, but I mean, I'm catching it. In other words, catching the punch and stopping it from getting through. So just by being in this position, I shut down a lot of attacks. And let's say that you want to attack to the body, for example. You can see how quickly this bottom hand opens up into a low block, and I protect my lower half. So being here, right, it's right there for the low block. So I can shut down that attack, and then whatever I want to do afterwards to counterattack, I can counterattack. But students typically learn the forearm guarding block version, which is just, you can intercept with this, you can protect, and you can do the different blocks from here. It's like a fighting stance, if you will. And when you have your hands open, then you have the ability to catch punches and stop them with this open hand. Of course, you have to build up and develop your hands as well for that. But that gives you an idea of the knife hand guarding block. So yes, it can definitely be used, knife hand and forearm guarding block. So if you're punching, right, yes, it can be used to protect like this. With a backward motion, stepping down and blocking, you can use it to protect yourself. But just having that hand out in front all the time and that low hand down below protects you and gives you a lot of options where you can go from there to protect yourself and then counterattack. So thanks for watching.